cyber threats can be catastrophic for both businesses and individuals.
And cyber crooks are very determined when it comes to stealing your information. But what can be done to protect us? Chris Roberti with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has some advice.
Well, businesses need to know that the threat's real, that it's persistent, and that it's pervasive, and anonymity is not a defense. So any company, whether you're a large company or a small company, can be a target of cybersecurity, of cyber theft, cyber crime.
So then what would you say are the most persistent cyber threats for businesses and individuals?
There's two that we can talk about. First is ransomware, which is a cyber attack coupled with a demand for payment. Ransomware attacks can be very debilitating. It can prevent companies from operating for weeks. The average response time is about 280 days to fully recover. So those are very bad. The second type of cyber incident that we'll talk about is business email compromise, which is where a threat actor gets on your network, observes what's happening, and then will create a fraudulent payment demand to a vendor or other things. So it's essentially stealing from within. In 2021, there was something like over $2 billion worth of losses attributable to business email compromise. And those two are not even counting things like espionage, intellectual property theft, data theft, or destructive activities, which are other cyber threats.
Well, then what's the best way to defend themselves, whether, it's an individual or a business?
First, as I said at the top, is recognize that there's a threat. Don't panic. Develop a plan and then execute a few best practices. So the first would be to enable multi-factor authentication, which is a password plus something else. Make sure you're downloading and updating your computers, downloading patches and updating your computers regularly. Change your passwords frequently. Educate your employees on how to spot and avoid spear phishing attacks, which are emails or texts with a malicious link in them. They should be backing up their data, and they should be developing relationships with local and federal law enforcement agencies so that they know who to call when something happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do a really good job at masking, and it makes it really easy to want to click a link that they might have because they know how to kind of tailor it to whoever they're sending it to. It's very unfortunate, but I'm glad we're at least kind of learning ways we can defend ourselves. But what is being done at a local and national level?
So at the national level, there's robust collaboration between the government and the private sector. The private sector is part of the solution. There's very sophisticated companies that are helping to defend the nation against cyber threats. And the U.S. Chamber of Commerce plays an important role as connective tissue between the government and the private sector. Similarly, at the local level, there's been recent allocated funds from Congress to help state and local governments improve their cybersecurity. As you know, this August, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office had to disable computers after it detected suspicious activity. So the threats are real, and they impact everybody from companies to individuals to local governments. So that collaboration between the government and the private sector, between the local governments and the federal sector is critically important.
Well, if we want to learn a little bit more on this, where can we go, Chris?
You can go to uschamber.com/security. That's the U.S. Chamber's website. And then there's also CISA.gov, CISA.gov, with tons of tips, best practices, and information.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for helping us stay safe. You stay safe yourself. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website at firstcoastliving.net.